Alright, let's try this again. Apparently last night's video there was no audio. Oh, I figured out what's going on, and I promise to do better. I need to check my work. I get in a little hurry and I record it and upload it and relax time. So I went over these tickers last night, but last night I pointed out how it looked like things were about ready to come under pressure. The Ichimoku indicator can show you downtrending pressure, and we did react to that today. So I'll just start off with the AMC here. We've fallen through what I feel is key support at $11. We've got a little bit of support here from a Kijun-sen line, but it's starting to trend down. So this is poor support. We've got an uptrending 50 moving average, which we could bounce from there. This could possibly start trying to form an uptrend, but I think this has gone up for all the wrong reasons, and it's a lot of hype. So when we look at the long term here, usually a big spike up like this and a long downtrend like this will burn off. So that's kind of my bias on this one. But I try to just look at the technicals for trading. If people want to trade this, I would, this is basically a take profit signal here. We've rolled over. So that's what I would do if I was in it, just take profits. ZOM trade's not working out too good. I'm still in it because there's still support down in here. Looks like we traded down to this this lowest area of support here. So I'm going to look for that to hold tomorrow. If it doesn't hold tomorrow, I'm going to cuss and spit and throw a little fit. But what we're looking for is a daily close, okay? I don't really care about intraday price action. There's some support right here. This is kind of the last level of support here. This, it's about $1.50, $1.55. I really don't want to write it that low, but so basically we're seeing this consolidation. We had this huge move and it burned off, and we tried to rally here, and there just wasn't, the buyers just weren't there. So now we're right down here at this 50 moving average, which is where I kind of see it respond here. We had a big volatile day here, came down to the 50 and bounced pretty good. So it's kind of, actually I was kind of hoping this would bounce by the end of the day or after hours, but it didn't. So I'm not feeling real optimistic about this, but we have to watch. I don't want to close at a loss here when we have this area of support right here. We've got the cloud and the 50 average. Let's see what a 4-hour chart looks like. Are we 179? Yeah, we're right here. Why does it show like a gap down? That's weird. I guess pre-market. We jumped down there in pre-market, so this was the day's range right here after market opened, which seems strange because it doesn't show up that way on the daily chart. Well, actually, I guess there was a gap down right here. Okay, so a 4-hour chart, we've fallen into the cloud. Here's our support here. This line. Of course, we don't have a 50 moving average in that chart. 30-minute, I'm sure looks bad. Yeah. We need to get back above the cloud in the 30-minute chart here. So that's not looking too good. I had this downtrend line I drew on a 30-minute chart, but that's not really valid. Just get rid of that. All right. So some of these big momentum stocks here we've been watching. I noticed last night that this Kijun-sen line was starting to curve down. And when this starts to curve down and price is still under it, this indicates downward pressure. Sometimes the price will just ignore it, but I think the price is doing a good job of respecting this indicator. We're still in the clouds, still undecided, but I think this looks like this is going to push price down some more. I'm actually expecting a little bit more selling pressure. CCIV, I closed this trade yesterday because we've gone underneath the Tinkinson line here. The cloud offers no support, it's too thin. So this looks like we're going to see more selling pressure to me. Ultimately make a new low. That's indicative of a downtrending market, that we would see a new low. So here's our previous low. Traded up a little after hours. Sometimes these things we might come up a little bit, down a little bit. They don't just go. Well, we had some pretty good down momentum right here. So I'm kind of watching these to see if they make a new low, or if they fail to make a new low, which it kind of looked like they were going to fail to make a new low. They just took their time at doing it. So when I saw this, okay, SNDL, Sundial Growers, it looked like we weren't going to make a new low, but we're staying above Tinkinson. We broke down below Tinkinson, and now so I have a feeling these are going to push down more and make a new low, which that'd be quite a sell-off for this if this is going to get below this pin bar. So it just depends on. So technically the pin bar doesn't count as a daily close, so if we go by daily close, we're already getting close to a new low. GameStop, this seems to be failing. It's basically a take profit signal to me. This right here was a take profit signal if I was in this trade. The cloud is support, and that's a pretty big red candle right there. So we've got some downtrending pressure now. We got Tinkinson on top, pushing down. We've fallen below the Kijinson right here. More downward pressure there. So as I look through these, it looks to me like we're going to have more selling pressure across the board. And these momentum stocks that are selling off, it seems to be affecting the whole market. So I do think that the market is rotating into blue chip and cyclical stocks that have underperformed. But the down pressure on these seems to be affecting the whole market. So SOS here, we got kind of this little uptrend thing going. So we're going to look. I'm not really optimistic that's going to hold. See, this is resistance up in here. So we keep bouncing off this resistance. We've tried it, 4 or 5 times now. So 5 times or so we try it, it fails, and I have a feeling this is gonna continue to come down. So it's just what I'm getting from the charts. I don't try to predict the future, but Ichimoku does give you basically a likely or a higher probability future. So we just need to watch this moving average, see how we react to the moving average here. And we're kind of staying the same distance from it. Now we're going to come down and we're going to test it here. So we may see a reaction. Maybe we'll go back up and test that again. So until we break this resistance right here, and I'd want to see the full body of a green candle above this resistance here for the party to be on here. So right now, I would just recommend probably being out of these. Yeah, I don't know. See, when I look at a long term, this just seems like one of those blips that burn off. I know the market was pretty happy-go-lucky about Some of these, it just went up too fast. Plug power, more selling pressure. So this is another thing I saw last night was this downtrending Tinkinson line here. Kijinsen's way up here, so actually we're kind of oversold down here. You see how we come up, we keep testing this Kijinsen line or getting close to it, testing the cloud. Now Kijinsen's way up here, but we're trending below the Tinkinson here, so this is definitely a firm downtrend. I don't try to pick bottoms, but we're almost seeing kind of a bottoming action. See how we keep testing down here, testing. So we're going to watch and see if we're going to make a new low here. So looking at this chart too, I am estimating more selling pressure there as well. It may not happen tomorrow, but so yeah, I'm just seeing this Kijinsen, it just keeps bending down as we sell off and the trend continues down. This will keep putting downward pressure on the price until we can get above it, and then of course the cloud offers downward pressure. PLTR, not a whole lot of chart history here to go by any long-term basis, but so we've got downtrending pressure coming in right here. See how Kijinsen's bearing right down on price here. So once again with this chart, I am seeing an indication of more downward pressure. Quite often what happens is we'll sell down till we get oversold. Okay, and then we'll come back up and either test the cloud or the Kijinsen line. So if you got some other stocks that you're wanting to buy that have been bullish, when you see these, when you see something like this that's been selling off way oversold, let's say it gets clear down in here, way oversold. See, the farther we are from the cloud, the more oversold you are. That might be a good time to grab some shares of other good stocks that have been in a nice uptrend that you've been looking at, because basically they're selling off right now too, or a lot of them are. So here's a trade I took the other day, which is it's not doing too good either. I think I better just quit fooling around with these things. I took a short position today, and well, I wanted to short NEO, but Webull wouldn't let me do it. I don't know why. I tried it pre-market, so maybe regular hours it would, but it wouldn't let me do it. Maybe I didn't have enough margin or something. So anyway, I think it's time to. I was going to short some pot stocks, and so I did short. I shorted Tilray today. That's not my list here. So anyway, this Vector Acquisition Corp, I've been watching this pattern and it seemed to break out, but we closed right below this resistance line here, this Kijinsen line. And if you look at the 4-hour chart, that's represented by the top of the cloud here. So I was being optimistic and hoping that Tinkinson would just push this up, and we closed above the cloud, but we had selling pressure on all these momentum names today, and that hurt this trade. So now we're below the cloud. This kind of looks, I'm not too optimistic about this just rocketing out of here, but you never know. So we went up a little bit after hours. That's just speculative buying, you know. I just, beaten down today, let's buy a little after hours. Maybe tomorrow we'll get lucky. So now we're below Tinkinson and Kijinsen. We closed below both of those, so that's bearish. Let's look at a 30-minute. Yeah, 30 minutes. See, we jumped above the cloud, and now we burned off. We've come right here, but this straight up skinny piece of cloud seldom offers any support. We've got the TK cross. Of course, this is a 30-minute chart, so these signals really don't mean diddly squat, except for if you're in high momentum swing trade or day trade, then the 30-minute charts can help you. Mainly, I base my trade on a daily chart, and hope to get several days or however long it's going to trend and stay above the Dickinson. But here's Tilray. Yeah, I shorted this today. So you see how Kijison's bent over and just hammering right down on the price. So I think this is going to sell off more. We sold off another 1.16% after hours. So I'm looking for this to come down and either match this low or make a new low. I think the full body of a candle, at least below this body, would suit me. I would probably call that a new low, since this is just intraday trading action and not the actual market close. Square, this is one I'd like to own. So this is the kind of thing I'm looking, when I see these other ones oversold, maybe I want to get into Square. We've come right down to the 100 moving average here. But I think some of these are overbought too. This thing has had a sharp rally since COVID. So I really hate to buy it here. So I'd want to watch. It's an investable company, but I think up this far, I would treat it more as a trade because, so I'd want to watch this to hold the 100 moving average here. So as we watch these others, other stocks, CC, IV, Plug, NEO, as we watch them get to an oversold area, then that might be a good time to try to pick some of this up and catch another bounce. Tesla, looks like we've got some downtrending pressure here. Kijinson is staying pretty flat here. We've got a nice flat Kijinson and resistance here we just keep testing. When I see price continue to test resistance like this and really not get to where it reacts sharply, sometimes that can be an indication that price is determined to get through it. It just takes maybe a news event or something, and this thing will just blow right through it. So as long as we just have a regular trending market and no news, I'm kind of expecting to see the same or maybe sell off some more. This is a pretty deep low just to go down and match this low right now. So I'm kind of getting the feeling we're not going to see this low for a while. This may take more time to kind of lollygag around, consolidate. You never know. This one's kind of hard to read compared to the others that are definitely look like they're going to go down more. Nvidia, it's another one that I'd like to invest in that I missed. It looks overextended here, but one that you might want to try to pick up as we get oversold. Netflix I like. We've come down to the 200 moving average here. A lot of times that's kind of the last line of defense, that 200 moving average, and then once that breaks, we could see quite a bit of selling pressure, as we did here. I don't know if I'd call this a low, but we kind of put in a double low right here, or I mean a bottom. Kind of put in a double bottom low right here. Okay, let's see if there's some others we want to cover real quick while we're on here. Okay, here's my bigger watch list. I had to move that out of the way because my little record tab's right here. You guys can't see it, but it's in my way. Get out of my way. I wonder if I can just drag it. Can I drag it? No. Genius Brands. I own this one. I bought this one after After I saw this double bottom type thing here, I thought $1 was decent. Got my attention when it did all this, and then everybody crying as it bled off. And so I just actually researched the company. I kind of like some of their content, looks kind of cute, and I bought some for my kids and I. So I'm kind of looking at this trend line here, and I think we're overextended right now. And that's probably why we saw this big wick right here today. And I'm actually expecting this to pull back now. That was a huge green candle. I think this is a news event right here. Don't quote me, but I believe Arnold Schwarzenegger's on board to help with some of their content, is what I read, but I didn't read too deeply into it. So big bullish candle here, and then of course we came right back down. So anyway, with this long wick right here, I'm actually looking for this to ultimately pull back to this trend line again. So if you're looking to get into this, I don't think this is an opportunity to get in. I think a retest of this trend line or approximately. Sometimes we won't quite get down there. It's good to try buy orders because sometimes just the daily volatility will get down there, but not the daily close. Let me find something else. DraftKings. This kind of be a nice one to pick up if it can come down. Like I say, as we watch for these oversold areas to try to get into something that's actually in a nice uptrend. So I'm not in that one, but I'm watching it. Nikola, this has been in a long downtrending channel here. So if anything, I would short it near the top of this channel. So this is another kind of market barometer. See, we can look at this and see how oversold we're getting. See when we start getting towards the bottom of this channel, so we know maybe when the market's going to bounce. We don't necessarily get to the bottom of the channel. We kind of spend a lot of time in the higher end of the channel here. Tested the mid-range, and it looks like now we're going back down. So this too is also telling me to expect more selling pressure. You really can't predict markets, but it just when I look at the charts, that's where my bias is when I look at these. Let's see, we already looked at plug. I don't know how this got on my watch list, is Clover Health, but this thing's just gotten pummeled, way oversold here. Come back up, we're reacting to this sharply downtrending Kijun-sen line. Excuse me. And this is telling me also to expect more selling pressure. That's quite a low. If we're going to head down there again, that's quite a bit of selling pressure that has in store if it's going to see a new low. SOS, I think we already looked at this, yeah, with the repeated tests of resistance there. Sundial. Oh, here's one that I'd wanted to short and it wouldn't let me do that either. Fuel cell. So yeah, these things just had a huge run, and I don't know how far down they'll go, but they're in a downtrend now. This actually got pretty oversold just right here. See how far away we were from the Kijun-sen line? I mean, we're close to the cloud, but you want to look at the downtrending cloud. So the distance down. So this could try to come up and test a little more before we try to make a new low, but this does look like it's definitely under some selling pressure here. All right. Here's one that I started watching. Is a recent IPO, this Zim Integrated Shipping. They're a large container shipping, cargo shipping company, and this thing was just going to town. And there's not enough chart history really to judge anything, but I see this is basically a bearish engulfing candle here now. So this thing's been in a pretty nice uptrend here. Basically up over 100% since it IPO'd here, or maybe just changed the ticker symbol or something. But so that's a pretty big red candle here. So this is indicating more selling pressure as well. So looking at all these charts combined, taking all this in combined, I am expecting more selling pressure before we see a big oversold bounce. All right, well, that's it for now. I hope all that helps, and we'll see how tomorrow opens. 13, let's see, this went down 13.78% today. All right, I'm going to sign off.